Thank you for joining. So this is Thailand. I'm Valerie McKenzie. Sawadee ka.
I'm Johan Wimon Chalao. Swadee krap.
And I'm Thapani Manawet. สวัสดีค่ะ
Now, I don't know about you, but having lived here for so long, I just cannot believe how the weather has changed. We never used to get these severe winds, but over the last few weeks, the winds are pretty severe.
Oh, absolutely. I know on the way to coming home to and from work, you might get those freak rainstorms out there. I've been seeing trees being blown down on the street, so you have to be really careful when you're out there.
And of course, it's the BMA. In fact, they're having to do something about the billboards too, Tara.
I also noticed, just on the comment of the weather, that I used to tell people who came here that, oh, don't worry when it rains because it's a tropical rainstorm. It will pass in 20, 30 minutes. Just find somewhere and wait it out. And that's never the case anymore. It goes on for forever, it seems.
Very true. So we can say that climate change is really taking a hold in Thailand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about the rain, though? I think it's also been heavier this year.
Well, I know they're forecasting, much more severe weather. It kind of goes along all with the global warming. They've been talking about some severe changes in the weather, getting hotter, getting more rain, probably that's why they're causing the floods that we're seeing. So, it's something we really have to take note of.
What I'd like to know is it doesn't matter what country you live in. Why is it that when it rains, all the traffic slows? It just automatically slows. It's either when somebody's on a mobile phone, which is very illegal here, or it's when it rains. The traffic slows and we then have traffic jams worse than ever before.
Well, I think that's one thing they don't tell expats when you move here to Thailand is about the traffic problem. Maybe a lot more would not be here were it for that problem, but there's traffic already.
No, we still come
with
anyway.
Rain, you got double.
Well, when it rains, you hope that they slow down a little bit. So if you are not in the car, then you don't get splashed with a puddle, maybe.
This could
Maybe
be the
that's
choice.
what it's for.
Maybe it is. So what's the talk of the town today, Johan?
We actually have a lot to talk about on Talk of the Town. So, talking about the Olympics, yep, even though they are closed, since the closing ceremonies of the London 2012 Olympics, and Thai boxer Kun Gao's loss to China's Zhou Shiming in the 48-kilogram gold medal bout, the fight continues in the media and the social networks as well. Now, the problem is about the controversial judging that left many crying a foul.
Well, it's been said that boxing is never a fair sport, and there has been a lot of talk alluding to the corruption that goes on even within the boxing association.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've been treated unfairly, but the consolation is that apparently everyone goes through the same thing.
Exactly. Well, many were left wondering why the Thai coaches failed to submit a petition within the 5 minutes of the decision. Something that people attributed to maybe it was the shock, it was the loss, and the anger over the poor judging kind of clouding their reason. But this anger shared by a lot of the fans out there. In fact, looking on Facebook and Twitter, there has been inundated, I might say the word inundated, in comments on talking about the AIBA. Now, the AIBA is the International Boxing Association. And some comments were shame on the AIBA, or so how much money have they paid for winning? Accusations of bribery, medal buying, already plagued the sport with rumors. Azerbaijan was already accused that they had paid the authority $9 million in exchange for 2 gold medals. But the IOC really didn't find anything wrong. Now, here's something that Kuntara can help me out with. One curious twist of the linguistic fate has lent some humor to the subject. The International Boxing Association, or IABA, when pronounced as one word in Thai, is Aiba. Now, Kuntara, what exactly does that mean?
Oh, I guess ba means crazy. So you must be crazy. Or actually, I've heard a lot of AI and followed by many other capital letters.
But the thing that I still find amazing is the fact that we've been to Olympics for so many years. We've won gold. We've had protests before. Why didn't the authorities, our officials, our teams actually take the 5 minutes? Somebody must have known that we had that 5 minutes. We're not new to the Olympics.
Oh, absolutely.
So we lost the plot.
From what I read on the blogosphere, which is not the best authority for information, I hear that they did petition, but within 30 minutes. And then they were told that the time gap for petitioning is within 5 minutes. And this time keeps being extended or being shortened depending on
What
I don't
story
know
you
what
hear?
the criteria is.
Sure. Well, just to round out the story, one good thing to take away from this, though, is actually Kun Gao's mom has been in the news a lot talking about her son's performance within the Olympics. And when she was asked, what did she think about this ruling, about the decision, she said, you know what? It's a sport. It's a sport. You have to play by the rules. You have to respect the authority of the judges, even if, in her case, she said that the judges were biased. She said she's out there to cheer her son. And one person on ThaiVisa.com wrote, Gao won the silver in England, but he won the gold in Thailand.
That's pretty true. He's won the hearts and the minds of Thai people for sure. And I also think all the expats living here are saying, let's go for it. So well done to Kun Gao.
Well, that's it for boxing. What do you have on the list?
All right, this is going to be something that affects all of us, I think. The drunk driving law is being tightened, and it has kicked into implementation on the 8th of August, where the occupants of vehicles of any kind who drink alcohol during travel will now be subject to 6 months imprisonment and or 10,000 baht fine, or both. This has been announced by the Office of Alcoholic Beverages. It's an attempt to reduce casualties on the road.
Well, it makes sense. You know, if you have, obviously it makes sense, you don't want the driver being drunk. But if a passenger is drinking alcohol, the temptation, I think, is just too strong there for the driver just to take a little sip and then maybe another sip, and then you're putting everyone at risk.
I disagree.
Well,
Really?
I do.
this gets rid of the
Depends on
entire...
circumstances, because if you're in a bus and you're actually got a people going out on an excursion, why shouldn't they be able to have a drink in the back of the bus without the driver being charged? Because he's not drinking.
Oh, you
I'm not
mean
sure
in-
if the ruling actually applies to buses or if it's just a passenger vehicle.
No, what
Well,
they
I
said
can
is...
clarify.
Yeah, please do.
The passengers of rail-based transport are exempt, but from what I know, every other method of transport are
Road-based,
subject,
yeah.
yes, to these
Which-
I guess
penalties.
your buses are out then.
Exactly right. That's why I queried. I think, well,
But
so this is
I
Thailand.
think that as a token of, goodwill or a kind gesture, sometimes people do buy an extra one for the bus drivers and the bus conductors as well. So there may be an argument there for absolutely banning everything because, as you know, in Thailand, we love those loopholes.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, this is a little health announcement for everyone out there. Leptospirosis. Now, what is that? It's something for those who are in flood-prone areas. The Public Health Ministry is alerting residents across the country of an outbreak of leptospirosis. Now, this is a common infectious disease that can be transmitted directly or indirectly from animals to humans. So far, 27 people nationwide have died in over 1,700 cases reported in 70 provinces throughout the country since January. So if you're living in Ranong, Phang Nga, Patalung, Surin, or Sisaket, these have the highest infection rates so far.
Never heard of it before, have we?
No, neither have I before this.
And they said it comes after the flooding, but the flooding's been gone for some time. So who's it mainly affecting now?
Well, the problem is the disease is caused by bacteria, which is carried by rodents and other animals. And when they urinate in the water, humans who are also in water, in flood water, stagnant
true.
water, come into contact. They get the disease, which is a tiny little bacteria, and it just proliferates.
Right. I actually know of the disease in the Thai name of what it's called because my mom was always warning me against it. And in Thai it is called Rok Chi Nu. Anyway, in case you ever need to explain it to any of your friends. And it is from rats' urine. And well, the thing that she warned me about is when they climb over, say Coke cans or drinking from cans, you should always wipe it down and because the rats are trying to escape the flood.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting,
coming
isn't
up.
it? Yeah, as I say, we hadn't heard of it, but then that's what this program's here for, to bring you all this information. You've got another fun story, a light story, I think.
Yes, it is a light story, and this is a kind of a humorous one for everyone that I know all the expats, whenever you're visiting Thailand or a lot of Asian countries, that of the loo, or as we say in the US, the toilet as well. If you spend any time length here, you've probably stumbled across a bathroom which has the squat toilet. What exactly
Always a
is-
disappointment
How
when that
do you
happens.
use those things? For those who aren't experienced in sitting or the squatting version, the little mechanics of who knows how that works. Good news on the horizon because again the Health Ministry has mandated that all the squat toilets will be replaced with the sit-down, with our traditional sit-down ones. Starting with government buildings, public schools, and other public places such as national parks.
Now, you've got a great story about India, haven't you?
Well, yes, my friend was apartment hunting in Mumbai. So in India, what they've managed to do is to combine the two, the squat and the sit-down toilet, by having a sort of strangely shaped porcelain that combines. So it's wide in the front, so if you want to squat, you can. And if you don't, you just put down the seat.
Well, it happened in Singapore too, so this is part of the progress of our country. It happened in Singapore where, in fact, when they actually put these sit-down toilets, they found that people were still standing on the sit-down toilets. So there was this huge campaign through Singapore behind every door saying how you should actually use the new facility. So I'm sure we'll get the same here. Look, don't you think these are exciting stories to be given first thing in the morning on So This is Thailand? What can you expect?
Well, that is it for Talk of the Town today. What's coming up next?
We're going to take a break, and then I'm going to be talking to a gentleman who's an expert in the real estate industry.